Thank you so much. And yes, since we have put the first thing first, health first, now it's time to begin with our college annual function. Once again, gratitude to Shri Atul Bhai and Ojas Life and all the team members from Ojas Life. And it was a wonderful, informative session. Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Meena Chintamanini was with us for a while, and we welcome, on behalf of college, I welcome her also, and all the guests and the dignitaries who have arrived here. Our IQAC members are here, all the invited guests are here. Our chief guest for the annual function is with us. The guest of honor is also, in fact, right now when I'm asking, I'm announcing she has arrived. So very soon we will be having them, and we will be learning a lot, like how we have learned a lot about a healthy living. We will be learning a lot from the very inspiring lives of our chief guest and our guest of honor also. So everyone, are you ready? I have a test to find out. I'm a professor, so I will not take whatever you say at the face value. So are you ready to say with me, I'm 19 going on 20? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Can we do it once again? This time in UPG style. क्योंकि हवा नहीं ये उषा प्रवीण तो दिखा देते हैं UPG स्टाइल में. 1, 2, 3. I'm 19 going on. Span of attention 8 minute हो गया, ये मैंने सुना था, ये तो 8 second हो गया. Anyways, so this is the 19th annual function of Usha Praveen Gandhi College of Arts, Science and Commerce. On behalf of the principal, the Students' Council, IQAC of the college, all the faculty members, and all the staff of Usha Praveen Gandhi College, I welcome all of you, all the students, the parents, all our dignitaries, all our guests. And with your kind permission, we are starting this 19th annual day celebration by once again making you aware that we are A+ now. UPG Shori.
कांधे पे सूरज टिका के चला तू, हाथों में भर के चला बिजलियां. कांधे पे सूरज टिका के चला तू, हाथों में भर के चला बिजलियां. तूफान भी सोचे जिद तेरी कैसी, ऐसा जुनू है किसी में का. बहता चला तू, उड़ता चला तू, जैसे उड़े बेधड़क आंधियां. बहता चला तू, उड़ता चला तू, जैसे उड़े आंधियां. मंजर है नया, मंजर नया.
UPG is A+.
हवाई कहे सुन जरा तू भीगी रहती ये नजर तू आए ऐसे सुन जरा
दुनिया की बातें बातें छोड़ के गमों की बाहों को मरोड़ के खुशी खड़ी है जिस मोड़ पे we got to go that way we got to go that way गलत या कहे सही हमें किसी की परवाह नहीं जाए जहाँ भी लगे जिंदगी we got to go that way we got to go that way हम जो भी हो कांधे पे सूरज टिका के
Can't just have enough of it. That was the year 2022-23, a milestone in the history of Usha Praveen Gandhi College of Arts, Science and Commerce. The second cycle of accreditation by NAC and awarded with A+. All the students, all the staff members, especially all the faculties who have worked under the able guidance of our Cycle 2 coordinator and IQAC and spearheaded by our very, very exemplary principal, Dr. Anju Kapoor. A big round of applause for everybody who has got us A+. May I now request our principal ma'am, Dr. Anju Kapoor, vice principal ma'am, Smruti Nanavati ma'am, and along with them our chief guest for the day, Captain Suresh Bhatia, and our guest of honor, our very own Lekhini Desai, to please come upon the stage for lighting the lamp. अंधेरे से उजाले की ओर, lighting of the lamp is just, a ritual that we always have, that actually signifies that the whole education process is actually the transformation or the transition from the darkness to the light. Also, while we are lighting the lamp, we also invoke the Almighty and all the powers that we can get from the Almighty in order to achieve more into our journey. So, presenting an invocation come.
जल प्रवाह पावितस्थले कलेवलम्ब्य लम्बितां भुजङ्गतुङ्गमालिकां डमड्डमड्डमड्डमन्निनादवड्डमर्वयं चकार चण्डताण्डवं तनोतु नः शिव 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 जटाकटाह सम्भ्रम भ्रम निलिम्ब निर्झरी विलोल वीचि वल्लरी विराजमान मूर्धनि धगद्धगज्ज्वलल्ललाटमट्ट पावके किशोर चन्द्रशेखरे रति प्रतिक्षणम् प्रफुल्ल नील पंकज प्रपंच कालिम प्रभावलंबि कंठ कंदली रुचि प्रबद्ध कंधरं स्मरच्छिदं पुरच्छिदं भवच्छिदं मखच्छिदं गजच्छिदान्धकच्छिदं तमन्तकच्छिदं भजे अखर्व सर्व मंगला कला कदम्ब मंजरी रस प्रवाह माधुरी विजृंभणा मधुव्रतं स्मरान्तकं पुरान्तकं भवान्तकं मखान्तकं गजान्तकान्धकान्तकं तमन्तकान्तकं भजे
Introduce our chief guest for the day. जब तक मैम यहाँ आते हैं एक छोटा सा आप लोगों से कॉन्वर्सेशन कर लूँ. ये इवैल्यूएशन नैक का बिल्कुल आपके साल भर चलने वाले इवैल्यूएशन जैसा ही था. बस फ़र्क इतना था कि एक सेमेस्टर 6 महीने का नहीं 5 साल का ये इवैल्यूएशन होता है और 7 सब्जेक्ट या 5 सब्जेक्ट या 6 सब्जेक्ट जैसे आप देते हैं वैसे 7 अलग अलग क्राइटेरिया यहाँ इस इवैल्यूएशन में कॉलेज के भी होते हैं और आप जैसे हर सब्जेक्ट के लिए एक सब्जेक्ट टीचर से या फैकल्टी मेंबर से कंसल्ट करते हैं, उनसे रिसोर्सेज पाते हैं. वहाँ वैसे यहाँ अलग अलग क्राइटेरिया के क्राइटेरिया हेड्स होते हैं जिनसे पूरा गाइडेंस पूरी लीडरशिप लेने के बाद इन सब को मिला के एक IQAC कोऑर्डिनेटर और एक नैक साइकिल 2 कोऑर्डिनेटर मिला के इसको एक प्रेजेंटेबल इवैल्यूएशन के रूप में रखते हैं और इस पे अपने अप्रूवल की अपनी एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस की मोहर लगाती हैं प्रिंसिपल. तब जाके तैयार होते हैं हम इस इवैल्यूएशन के लिए और उस इवैल्यूएशन के बाद हमें जो मिला है वो है A+. स्टूडेंट्स का, स्टाफ का, सभी का इसमें बहुत योगदान रहा है. मैम ऑफ कोर्स इसके बारे में और बताएंगी लेकिन राइट नाउ अंजू मैम इज हियर, सो प्लीज हेल्प मी वेलकम विद अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज आवर वेरी ओन प्रिंसिपल डॉक्टर अंजू कपूर.
Thank you, Mayur, for this wonderful setting that he does every year. मेरे पास कुछ ज़्यादा शब्द रह ही नहीं जाते बोलने के लिए, ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़ती, right? Welcome, dear dignitaries, on behalf of SVKM's UPG College. I take an opportunity like this to welcome parents, my faculty members, my teaching, non-teaching staff, my alumni, and of course the dignitaries who have agreed to be on this platform today. And of course this all is not possible without you lovely students. So a round of applause to you all for making us feel that we are worthy enough for you to listen. You have given us time, space, and our entire energy and motivation comes from you. Now, I don't have really too much to say because I always use the visual medium to create an ambience and an environment where you all sense that what is really defining UPG College. And I think after looking at the show reel, most of you would have had the impression that ये लोग काम क्या करते हैं? ये तो enjoy करते रहते हैं, right? Students are dancing. Students are doing community festivals like Ganpati. Students are getting young kids on the campus. You students are, and the principal, we are going to a Jew beach to enjoy a Women's Day. So we really work, right? यही impression आता है ना UPG students? Last 2 months, have we really worked? Academics क्या होता है? Oh God, right? But like Dr. Mayur said, that we have been working round the clock. And it's not easy to have pulled off the NAC grade of A+, which we did this year collectively with a lot of energy, with a lot of hard work, with a lot of heartburn, with a lot of time loss. I think each and every faculty member of mine and non-teaching staff member has lost a lot of man hours with their families. And I can see my NAC coordinator nodding very strongly and saying, yes, yes, yes. We all know that our NAC coordinator, Dr. Sriram Deshpande, was the backbone behind this NAC. And it would not have been possible without his belief that he can pull it off. You know, in the beginning stages, I always have tough time assigning the role to the right person. And I think that's the only thing I really do reasonably well. And if I'm told behind my back on their group, they say, oh God, bakra fas gaya. Because ma'am has identified somebody. But jokes apart, I think the energy that you see in UPG College is primarily because of the kind of teamwork we all are known for. I think you can say that sometimes your friends from other colleges always tell you that what is it that you are really enjoying in UPG, and that is the one-to-one personal connect that each one of us, and I think we can manage that because we have a reasonably, I mean not by NAC standards, but we still have a reasonably good student-teacher ratio. So my compliments to all of you for that. I think even our alumni parents played a very important role in giving us a very, very good rating. And when I interacted with the NAC team, that's the one thing that stuck out for them. And they said, ma'am, teachers ko tutor kar sakte ho, students ko tutor kar sakte ho. How can you tutor your alumni's parents? You know, that's the next level. And they all spoke really nice things about how UPG has changed their ward, their child. And I think this is a question you all should really take back with you today, that how has this college molded you? How has being in this college a chance for you to change certain aspects of your personality? I mean, I know in the morning we started with something very unconventional where we gave you literally a sermon on how to maintain a good health. And therefore I decided that I'm not going to give you too many sermons because I know today is a day for celebrating achievements and celebrating our success. But yet, being the principal, I know there are parents sitting here. Some of you may say, oh, she didn't really say anything which was very concrete or substantial. And therefore, I'm also tempted, being a lecturer by profession, I'm also tempted to just leave you with one or two thoughts. And to put these thoughts together, I thought I would talk about two O's that, you students all aspire for O grades. I'm told you continuously, and now within a few days you'll be into the exam mode. So the O's that I am referring to and I'm talking about for you as students, you as faculty members, you as staff members, is just to give a thought to. The first O that I'm talking about is a word called opportunity. We all get these opportunities in our life. I remember before COVID, I was on this same dais, and it was, I think, it was 2019 when we had the annual day where we still had to begin the NAC process. And I was very, very despondent, and I was like, I'm not even hit by pandemic by then, but I was on a very despondent note. And I said certain things on this platform to which a lot of my teachers said later on that, oh, it wasn't very motivating, it wasn't very inspiring. And I was in that zone where I didn't realize, and now post-pandemic, having grown up a little more, being stronger more in terms of strength, because you know that an A+ definitely boosts our confidence. It's not something that we can completely ignore. Today I'm looking at this same stage, same college, this same chance to serve everybody as an opportunity. And from my experience, I could share and tell each one of you sitting here that where we are today is really an opportunity. Whether it is sitting behind, gibbering and chattering with your friends, it's an opportunity. It's a choice you're making. And it's your perspective that, oh God, when will this whole discourse stop? And when will the entertainment part of the annual day actually begin. But guys, don't forget that in whatever job, whatever role you're doing, there's always an opportunity to grab it or to ignore it. The choice is yours. The other O that I'm talking about, which is almost similar to what, and of course, coincidentally today Ojas was also O, but another opportunity that comes across from his talk was not only the importance of physical health, but also the importance of being optimistic all the time. Don't look at your life with so much of pessimism or despondency, but look at it with optimism. Because opportunity and optimism are two things that kept all of us going, and because of which we put in so much of hard work. So these are like afterthoughts and reflections of the year gone by. I don't need to say more about the activities gone by, because seeing is believing. You saw something we did in the first half and you saw it on the screen. Post lunch, you will see the performances put up by our students, and all our winning performances have been at youth festivals, at various college festivals, and you will see our students repeat that act. I'm telling you, they repeated that. Some of these performances were shown to the NAC Peer team, who were 3 senior people coming from 3 different states. We didn't know till the nth hour who's coming, and we had a tough time deciding what are we going to showcase to them as the cultural heritage of the college, because we are given a statement saying, show a cultural program. And then these were the items, very well selected by my entire team. I must say, I'm really blessed to have a fantastic working team of teachers who are continuously living, breathing UPG. So they selected the items, and if you stay back today post lunch, I'm sure students will stay back, but I'm talking to the seniors, the elders, the parents, the alumni. You will see them perform all of this, and it's a very good entertaining program which impressed all the 3 people. No, 2 of them, we took 2 of them, and they loved the performance, and they made a comment of that even in our report. So we are rich culturally, we are rich as a team, and of course we are very, very rich in academics. Having said all of this about the college, I think I will give a chance now for a small audio to play, which will be again in my voice, but it is introducing to you the only chief guest, the chief guest for today, and we have a guest of honor. So they will be coming here on the dais to share their experience. So this is a very formal event, guys, and you need to give them a ear. They are not here to just sermonize, they're just sharing their story. And let me first introduce to you the first person, the senior person here, and the chief guest for today. The audio clip, please. Yes. A wise man once said, "Be careful who you let on your ship, because some people will sink the whole ship just because they can't be the captain." Well, why am I starting an introduction with words like sink or captain? Well, I met this young gentleman when I was a child, and he was at sea. And I'm sure that's going to be covered well enough in his talk and address when he faces the august audience. An audience that he was reluctant to face some months ago, but more of that later. Friends, he never went to college, and yet he's a role model, a person who has had a huge impact on my life by his ideals, his learnings, his zest, his motivation, his inspirational conversations with me on different occasions, and also his ability to teach me to never be shortchanged from one's dreams, and most important, to never give up. The more I think of the person I'm going to introduce to you today, the more I wonder, when will his influence on my life stop? And the answer is never. Captain, as I call him affectionately, is a hero in many ways. He's been my hero at least, has had a phenomenal learning graph. He has had his own body of education, what you all today call as practical or experiential learning. Yes, yet he has the ability to hold on to most interesting conversations in a room full of new people he would meet. In a very powerful manner, I must say. In a way, he would allow you to often express himself, sometimes deliberately playing the devil's advocate, and sometimes provoking us into an argument. I mean, I got into several of them during my teenage years. I learned and I absorbed these skills, especially as he encouraged me to be more articulate, express my opinions in the safety of a home with honesty, clarity, and courage. I wanted the college students to meet a man young at heart who never went to college. His education was primarily through life experiences and what they taught him. His career started as a young cadet, immediately after completion of grade 10. He worked his way at the Dufferin from the lowest cadre to the highest rung to lead as the captain at Scindia Shipping Corporation, with whom he sailed for over 2 decades, and then settled down to working on shore at Kolkata during the difficult times, I would say, when business was difficult, for the same company and growing their business. Again, he left that line of business and set up his own business in another field at which I must say he suffered huge losses and became highly unsuccessful. He finally built an empire in another line of business in his mid-50s in an international location, which has given him an NRI status, and his business has grown to phenomenal heights. And then he never ceases to surprise you. When the pandemic struck, he began to plan to give away his business empire and return back to settle down in his own country and pursue his varied hobbies. Some of his hobbies include very creative streaks like sketching, painting, being a sports person, playing golf, being a sailor at heart, needless to say, loving his travel, and of course, he's an avid reader. All of these qualities inspire me. How beautifully he adapts to change. So for me, he's a hero who can have no fears. His self-confidence taught me to never give up and rise from every failure. And yes, I must share with you a little secret about him. And that is, he does have one fear. Well, perhaps I shall leave it for him to share that with you, which I'm sure he will do in his address today. His better half, Suresh Bhatia, is also his anchor, and her gentle presence and influence in his life are hard to miss. She's unable to attend our program today due to another prior commitment, but let me admit you may find Captain a little lost without her around today. Nevertheless, the show must go on, and at the crossroads of the 20th year of SVKM's UPG College, when we must prepare for change and embrace it with grit and determination, let me introduce this illustrious youngster at heart who can share some insights on how should we all brace for impact when we going ahead have lots of disturbances, a rough sea that may rock our ship. Over to you, Captain Suresh Kumar Bhatia. A warm welcome from all of us. May I now request to have him up on the dais so that he can address the audience.
I think Dr. Kapoor has overdone what she has talked about me. I'm a very simple man. Enjoy quite a lot of things. Had the opportunity of being in various places, doing various things. I would like to correct her that academically I might not be having a degree, but Bombay University gives us a degree called BSc in navigation. Actually, it is nautical sciences. So from there, I will continue. I will try to remind you that I am not educated in college. I have never had a crowd like this. I have been a CEO in 5-6 companies lately. And like Dr. Kapoor said, can I have that?
Audience likes.
The problem is I'm 76 years old. It hurts my eyes. I would love to look at you, but I'm sorry. I would like to tell you one more thing. It's a secret, which she was talking about. And that is I'm very nervous. I've never been on stage. It's ex prompto, you're running a ship, you have 60 people on board, you want to convey something, you just call them, come on boys, come here. You stand in the middle, you know you're a leader, they bloody well listen. So, I can't force you people to listen. So, they bloody well listen. And when I ran the factories, it was about 70 people, which could be called by me and convey my message, which is going to be a little bit challenging for me to do it here. I'm also sorry that because of my age and lately I've been sick, I can't memorize whatever little bit time Dr. Kapoor has given. So I've got it on my pad. I'll be reading it out from it. I hope you will try to understand what I'm putting across is face all challenges. There is nothing to be scared in life. Life will go on. And if you're strong, you can mount anything. Anything you can achieve. It's all up to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to now tell you how I went about, and I hope it helps you. Like I said, I'm sorry, I'm mostly going to read out what I want to say. And like I admitted, I cannot memorize anymore. I have difficulties, that's age. Though like Dr. Kapoor said, I'm very young at heart. I love talking to any age people, especially girls because I have got 2 daughters. And I'm also going to show you opportunities which are available outside this world, outside this academy, outside this system, where you can open up your mind. You are actually exposed to so many various things, and naturally my background will be shipping, because that has taught me a hell of a lot. See, it's very broad to have a horizon because at sea, we are in the middle of an ocean. We are only seeing horizon, nothing else. There's water around. There is nobody to. This is where we did our training. The white ship which you are seeing. You can see we boys. At that time there were no girls. Sorry, I'm from that world. But about 15 years back, I was in a panel where we have admitted girls into the merchant navy. It's a very tough life. And life is tough. The opportunities available to you should excite you. What is the passion you carry? And then take a calculated risk. That's how entrepreneurs are born. Not by holding somebody's hand. Sorry, even if you look at Ambani's, they have had this desire, desire to become big. Of course, you cannot plunge into anything unless and until you go through the pros and cons and then have a passion to reach that goal. Whatever decision you make, don't look back because, like Dr. Kapoor said, failures and achievements go together. Don't get scared with failures. I've had many. I would like to share my life's experiences. I just retired 2 years ago. I don't call it a retirement. I'm still active. Not because I wanted to relax and enjoy my balanced life in leisure, but because there was nothing to do which would excite me. This is another challenge I took from her. I am under doctor's treatment. I have had a very serious illness. Just came out from it 2-3 months back. But this challenge when I took was, I told her, this is what she introduced, that he's never been in an auditorium and stood on stage. Because we don't believe in that. I have gone through very tough professional exams consisting of, and this is what you require as a captain to know, business, law, electronics, engineering, and so many other things, because what we believe at sea is you cannot tell anybody anything as a leader if you don't know his job, his or her job. So we have to learn everything. I cannot tell the chief engineer what to do with my ship unless and until I know something about engineering. I know, jokingly, quite a lot of my friends' children had this concept that going out to sea or being a sailor was something like Popeye the Sailor Man, sitting with a pint of beer and a nice smoking pipe in his hand, which is not true. There is always something happening on the ship in the middle of the ocean. The weather plays a big part. Then we play games on board. We are busy with our duties, trying to write letters so that when we go to the next port, we can dispatch it to our families, because that was the only mode of communication. After I left sea is when the mobiles came. I was selected for training out of 100,000 boys, and only 80 people were selected. This training is very physically tough and mentally stressful, as you call them today. But I never learned how to quit, or rather we never learned how to quit. Our horizon was very clear. We had to become officers on merchant ships and ultimately become a captain. A captain, a title which we carry till the day we die. It's very, very tough to become a captain. Very, very tough. You are controlling the company's ship which is worth thousands of crores with the cargo. And not only that, you are looking after 40 to 50 people who depend upon you. Their life depends upon you. So it's a very big responsibility. It was not very easy to go to various lands, especially when we went to the Americas or Europe. People were surprised that we could speak good English. And believe me, they had a perception that our country was full of snake charmers on the roads and elephants walking around. It can annoy you, definitely, and you want to rebuff. But like I said, this is what we found everywhere. We were coasting around, say like Americas, we would start from Texas, Houston, go to Louisiana, go around in the eastern board, go to various cities because we are discharging cargo. We are cargo ships. And picking up cargo which we used to import for India and bringing it back to India. So you meet quite a lot of people. Sometimes we went to countries like communist countries where they were very strict. They didn't let us get down from the ship. We were not allowed. There were 3 cops stationed on the jetty. You had to stay on board and not step outside. Can you imagine, we have sailed from the ship, from the country, taken about 30 to 35 days to reach those ports. You are waiting in Anchorage. Sometimes you don't even have proper food. All you get is frozen food. But we learned all that. This is what I'm talking about, that toughness, what you require to face. And it would be sometimes even 6 months to 8 months where you have not met your family at all. The choice we were given, or the choice we chose, was to gain more knowledge. There was no Google available, sorry. Doctors always tell me that what you're talking is you have found out from Google. The search would be from written media. That was our food for some time. Gaining knowledge, like I said. Sometimes we even got journals on medical sciences. We got journals on law. We got comics. We got novels which were the Western novels, what you must have read. Now this is all giving you knowledge. This is what you want to feed on. I then came ashore after having visited about 360 ports in the world. I have not missed any country, I think, where I have not been. So that's why I give you an example of Russia. All various kind of people you meet. And I have had one habit, and that is to meet people and talk to them. You learn from people if you talk. You learn from people if you make them argue, like Dr. Kapoor said. I used to allow, you can say, that's what my elders would say, allow them to have an argument with me on any topic, doesn't matter. Later on, I avoided politics. It's not all rosy. Like she said, we take calculated risks, yes, but it's calculated. It's calculated on the basis of your experience, your maturity, and what's good for your ship, what's good for the people who are on board, who are relying upon you. And in one of the photographs, if you had seen, I had put a ship going through heavy seas. Believe me, for weeks we are living on sandwiches because the cooks can't cook. There's no way they can keep utensils in place. So I am talking about one of my experiences, which was when I was in Montreal, Canada. We were loading the ship to bring pulp, paper pulp for requirements here. And I was stuck in during the time of winter. This is the month of December. I was a captain on board. I had my wife and my two small little children with me because that is the privilege they gave us to be with the family. And we were getting late and I started seeing ice forming into the river. Now, the river it's called St. Louis, or St. Lawrence, sorry, which gets frozen for 4 months. Now, you know ships have to float. You cannot be in an ice, nor can you cut the ice. So, I started getting worried that the time which was coming was going to have my ship stuck there for 4 months. So I took a decision, a calculated risk, like I said, not getting carried away with my decision with my wife and children being on board, but thinking about the ship, the cargo, the losses which the company would have faced, and decided to cross the Atlantic Ocean from Montreal to Gibraltar, which is Mediterranean Sea. It's a safety factor. You try to control the ship so that the cargo doesn't move. Now here, despite knowing my ship had been damaged from front, or the bow we call, knowing that this could lead to the ship getting filled up with water and getting sunk, I still took this dangerous decision and managed to cross the Atlantic Ocean. I had my family, like I said, on board. I took this calculated risk, saving the company from huge losses and protecting the crew. Because 4 months being stuck in one place in ice, snow all over, minus 30, minus 35 degrees, people are not equipped. Now with all this shipping background what I gave you, short I hope I'm not crossing my time limit. One day I said that my hard work was not helping my company and the shipping was going through a terrible phase. So I planned to do something on my own. Since shipping, or you can say water, is in my blood, water related things are in my blood, I decided to partner a company who was into business at that time, and they were transporting huge machinery from Larsen and Toubro, Hazira, Surat, to Jamnagar. That was the Reliance petroleum factory being set up. I was involved in that, the reason being that this had to be transported by sea, and no big ships can go into Hazira or Surat because the water is not enough, just 3 feet of water. So we decided to hire some tugs, barges, loaded them on the barges, and took them all the way across to Jamnagar. And I did this for 2 years. Now this taught me, because we had to make a temporary jetty at ports like Dahej in Gujarat, where the water would be for maybe 3 hours and disappear and you would have clay. So we were making wooden jetties or doing piling work. That's how I learned piling, and this is where that Bandra Worli sea link, I was one of the bidders. I had even gone that far to put my ideas and my experience into that. It didn't work out, that doesn't matter. It's not necessary everything will work in life. I also did something which is what finally I got settled in UAE, in Dubai. My nephew met me in Singapore and convinced me that why don't you start, you have a leadership background, you have knowledge, why don't you open an IT company for me in Dubai? Because IT was very big in those days. So outsourcing was being given. Infosys was a living example. Everybody wants to become, that big. So I opened an IT company in Dubai in the year 2000 and ran it for 6 years, up till 2006. 2008, the recession came and all these outsourcing jobs what we are getting from big companies like Microsoft, Oracle, they stopped giving it to us. So it was very difficult to manage with the staff and naturally their salaries. So I decided to quit that, took that losses, and like I said, there are so many failures in life. That was one of them. I felt later on that despite my hard work, this company failed because of unforeseen circumstances. Like, though I fueled this company with my heart and soul, it didn't work. I stayed strong and set my sights on the next business, endeavor to cover my losses, which happened, which will happen. Finally, at the age of 56, I took up another challenge of manufacturing parts for plants, doing dirty water treatment, and believe me, it's big, it's huge. Dirty water, tomorrow, I'm not meaning by tomorrow as Sunday, tomorrow I mean the future, is going to be water. We are challenging companies that we can clean your water as dirty as possible into fresh water, which we show them that we can drink it in front of them. We also take oil out from the water and convert it into fresh water, or the water which can be recycled in the industry. Now, like I said, it's that challenge I keep on taking in life. And having this passion, learning and absorbing, I was running semi-automatic machines, having worked throughout the day, right up till 3 o'clock in the morning, because somebody was backing me, somebody was spending money on me. What I'm trying to get across to all of you young people, which I see quite a lot of them have gone, is learning and knowledge, absorbing knowledge. I think if there is anything different which you have passion about, which you would like to follow, you should take that calculated risk. I've always taught my children that when you get discouraged with what you are doing, remember, heavens don't fall. success comes after failures, and no successful man can say he or she has not faced failures. Ambanis didn't become, like I gave an example, without having a deep vision and dream. So did Tatas. I have seen all these companies grow up in front of me. So, ending my note, you need passion for hard work to do anything in life. Take any challenge in life. There is nothing small and big. I started from small and I became big. I hope I have been some help to all of you, whatever little bit I could say. And I would like to thank Dr. Kapoor for giving me such a great welcome. And I am honored. Thank you.